What is up, y'all? It's Alina, and in this video we will be exploring the 5 things you need to know about the April full moon, pink moon, and supermoon that is happening in the sign of Scorpio. So if that's something that interests you, then let's get started. What is up, y'all? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. In this video, we are going to be diving deep into this first supermoon of the year, that being the full moon in the sign of Scorpio, happening on April 26th or 27th, depending on your time zone. And we're going to be diving into what a supermoon actually is, how it's going to amplify the impact that this Scorpio full moon will have on us, the transits surrounding it, and at the end, I will have a few customized journal writing prompts so we can kind of dive deeper into the themes of these transits. And with all of that said, let's get started. So why exactly is this full moon so important? Full moons in general are seen as a culmination point where we see the lunar cycle beginning at the new moon where it is completely dark, and we see the light building, almost like any intentions that we might have started at the new moon building in momentum, where the full moon almost acts like a cosmic spotlight illuminating what has and hasn't been working for you. And usually during this time is when you'll see the full moon rituals that are mainly focused on letting go of what no longer serves us because of that illumination the full moon has brought on those things. But I think it's really important to also acknowledge your wins during this time. The full moon is really highlighting where you're at, the results, the fruits of your labor, whether it's starting a new project, maybe you started a new job a few months ago, started new intentions. What has been working for you? Sitting out and getting clear on that can be very fruitful. Now, this full moon is not only a pink moon, which is a name given to the first full moon of April, but this full moon is also a supermoon, which is a name given to full moons that occur when the moon is especially closer to the earth, more so than any other time of the year. Now, in the general public scientific world, this is what causes the moon to appear bigger and brighter in the sky. And in the more spiritual world, this is what causes the moon to have an increased energetic effect in our lives. And with this full moon falling into the water sign of Scorpio, along with the moon being ruled by the element of water, you might find yourself feeling more sensitive, a heightened intuition, and more in touch with your emotions. Next, what are the transits surrounding this full moon? Generally speaking, the full moon occurs when the moon forms an opposition aspect to the sun. That being when the moon and the sun's zodiac placements are on the opposite sides of the zodiac wheel. So for this full moon, it will be in the sign of Scorpio, and on the opposite side of the zodiac wheel, the sun will be in Taurus. Now on April 19th, the sun will enter the sign of Taurus, marking the beginning of Taurus season. Woo! Now Taurus is an earth sign, and it really encourages us to be more in touch with our bodies, in tune with nature, and grounded with the earth. There are going to be a lot of themes during this time with getting back in touch with our body, our sensory perception, and our intuition. And with this full moon occurring in opposition to the sun, we will see this Scorpio super full moon opposing this Taurus sun. Now, this Scorpio-Taurus polarity will really be bringing in themes and lessons for balancing out the more grounded, tangible, sensory calling to be in the moment, that being the Taurus energy, and balancing that with Scorpio energy, this longing to dive deeper into our intuition, ask deeper questions, explore emotional complexities, and be open to deeper transformation. Next, what should we expect to feel? Now, lunar energy is believed to be at its highest point, at its peak during the full moon. And with this being a super moon, with the moon being closer to the earth, adding to its energetic impact on us, there will definitely be even higher, more potent energy that we could be experiencing. There have been studies showing that some people can take a lot longer to fall asleep, sleep fewer hours, have more shallow sleep, and for many, have more vivid dreams during the full moon. So incorporating things like a dream journal next to your bed for when you wake up to really write out any type of intuitive messages you've gotten in your sleep, looking into things like lucid dreaming during a time like this could be really fun and interesting, and incorporating things like blue light blocking glasses and even an eye cover to help you get into that deeper REM sleep can be very beneficial during this time. Next, going back to the topic of Scorpio being a water sign, the moon being ruled by the element of water, how water is really the element of our emotions and our intuition, getting more in touch with that. This full moon will definitely be a time where we could experience heightened intuition. Now, this can look like it feeling easier to pick up on energies from new people that we interact with. Maybe realizing that you have a really good feeling about something that you're starting or learning about, or maybe a bad feeling. Exploring and holding space for the messages that our body is constantly telling us will be very beneficial. If you want to dive deeper into tapping into your intuition, I've made a full video on this topic, so be sure to check it out on the screen or linked in the video description below. Next, how do we really harness this super moon energy? Number one would be hold space for your intuition. This can look like way beyond what we associate with intuition and clairvoyance that we see on TVs and movies. This can look like starting a meditation practice that can literally start with a 1-minute meditation. Just really getting into the practice of holding space for your mind to wander and really strengthening the ability to have an observer mind, where you're observing the thoughts that go through your head rather than feeling like your thoughts are you. Holding space for your intuition can also look like diving deeper into inklings you experience. Maybe you get a really good vibe off of someone. When you experience that, start self-inquiry. Ask yourself where that stemmed from. We actually have more microorganisms in our digestive tract than cells in our body. So it's really interesting to see, even from a nutritionist perspective, how following your gut feeling can actually really be a messaging from our neurological system. Another way to harness this full moon energy is exploring shadow work. Shadow work is essentially a practice where you dive deeper into the root causes of where you might experience positive or negative emotions. For example, why do I get jealous? Where does that stem from? Where does my envy come from? My anger, all of the emotions that are usually kind of whitewashed away in modern day wellness to only be peace and love. Those are the emotions and experiences that you're actually facing, diving deeper into. And when you're able to do this, you're actually able to almost kind of clear up your intuitive abilities, because there are unfortunately many people who have a knee-jerk reaction or first impression of someone and they're like, yeah, that's my intuition. But they don't realize that they might be actually projecting their past experiences onto other people as a trauma response. So by doing that type of shadow work, exploring that, you're actually helping yourself to fine-tune your own intuitive abilities. And finally, let's get into these full moon journaling prompts. So if you're new here, at the end of my full and new moon astrology readings, I offer a few customized journaling prompts to help you dive deeper into the energy of this moon phase. So I'm going to go ahead and put the questions up on the screen. When you see them, I invite you to pause the video, write them out, unpause, and at the end, we'll come back. The full moon is a time of highlighting what has and has not been working for you. What is something you're most proud of from the previous month? Is there anything that you feel called to release during this time? When in the past has holding space for your emotions to flow been helpful to you? All right, y'all, if you're interested in diving deeper into doing a full moon ritual, what exactly it is and how to get started, I've done an entire video on it, and I've linked it in the video here and in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you made it to the end, please comment 3 full moon emojis or comment what came up for you during these journaling prompts. I know for me, over the last month, something I'm most proud of is this channel. To be completely transparent, over the last year, I feel like so many aspects of my life has changed, not only because I have gone into a deeper meditative sort of journey for myself, but also sharing that journey with y'all through the full and new moon meditations, and how that has turned into, you know, these full and new moon astrology readings that y'all have seemed to be enjoying and that I have enjoyed making. We're almost gonna hit 100,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. That was a goal that I had for maybe the end of the year, maybe way farther in the future, and somehow we're here, and I am so deeply grateful to y'all. And I plan to do some type of celebration giveaway. So actually, if you make it to the end of this video, I genuinely want to know, what would y'all want a giveaway to be? Like, what would you want that to look like? Because this is gonna be kind of my first one of the first ones that I've done in the last year, I think. So anyway, I am just sending y'all so much deep love and gratitude. I hope this full moon helps you find grounding. I hope this full moon helps you find more moments of stillness to let your intuition, you know, come through. With all of that said, I will wrap this up with my favorite quote, and that is, be gentle with yourself, because life is about the journey and not the destination. All right, bye friends.